Hi there, Michael Eskin here with another ABC Transcription Tools demo. I've pretty dramatically enhanced the custom instrument builder utility so that it can both automatically detect the range of pitches in your note sample collection, as well as synthesize any missing pitches that occur in that range for you, thereby creating an entire instrument from just a small set of samples. So let me make this more concrete. So for example, I have a collection of samples here from a Hohner Super 64 harmonica, and you can see there's not that many samples here. There's just some C's, E's, and G's, but we're missing all the notes in between. So the tool can now detect this range and actually synthesize all of the notes in between those notes, creating the entire instrument for you. So I'll start with that one. I'll go ahead and open up the Super 64 samples here. And you'll see in the list here, it shows you all the samples it read in, and it shows you that it's created these placeholders that it will synthesize when it does the instrument export. You can see that it's actually going to create the D flat 2, the E flat 2, and so on. And it's automatically detected that the starting range here was C2 and that the starting note was C. So you don't have to set that yourself. You can change these values, but generally you don't have to. For this particular one, I'm going to change the octave number start to 3 just because I want to play it in a certain range, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export this as a custom instrument, and we'll just call this Hohner Super 64, and it saved it. Now I'm going to go into the ABC transcription tools here, and I've got a couple of example tunes loaded in, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just drop that instrument on the tool. And now we'll go ahead and just play this little scale test here, and you'll hear that it's the complete range of the instrument, but we only started with a very few number of samples. And so on all the way up the scale. And then I'll go ahead and play a tune using that instrument. So you can see just how simple and fast that was, and it just used a very small number of samples, and it interpolated the rest of the notes in the scale from that small number of samples. I'll go ahead and just do a few more examples here. I've got a few notes from a Edgley Anglo Concertina here. We'll go ahead and do that. And you can see again, it's found the notes that it had, and then it's created these placeholder values for the notes that were missing. And we'll go ahead and just use the automatic octave and start, and we'll save that as Edgley. And we'll go back into the transcription tools here and just drop that file on the editor. And let's play a few notes from the scale. I believe this one actually starts on a G, was the lowest note. Let's see. And you can see it's created all of the notes in the scale, and we can go ahead and play the tune with that sample. Okay, one more example here. I've got a set of samples from a very nice harpsichord. And again, you can see there are gaps in the scale here. So it's created these placeholders that it will synthesize. And I'm going to change the starting octave here to 2, just because I know that these are a little higher pitched than the names indicate. And we'll go ahead and create an instrument called harpsichord. And it saved it. We'll go back to the tools, and we'll drag that harpsichord instrument onto the work area. Let's load the file, and now we'll just play it. So the tool has created all of the missing notes. It's filled in the gaps in the scale by interpolating from the next lowest note that it could find. And we'll go ahead and play the Alexanders using the harpsichord sound now. So one final example, I have a partial set of note samples from a concert harp. We'll go ahead and open those up. And you can see it's found the starting pitch as B1, and it's created the placeholders that it's going to synthesize and interpolate the missing notes. We'll go ahead and export the custom instrument. So it's created harp.zip, and we will go ahead and drop that instrument on the work area. So it's brought in all of the notes. Let's go ahead and play them. I'm going to set a volume scale for this instrument, and as well as a fade, because I know that the samples are a little quiet, and because it's a harp, the default release time of 100 milliseconds probably isn't long enough, so I'm setting it very long to 4 seconds. We'll do that for the demo tune as well. And we'll go ahead and play it. So here's the full range of samples. And you can see that the tool has created all of the missing notes for you. And we'll go ahead and play Alexander's with the harp instrument. So I'm very excited to be able to release this. There are all kinds of sample libraries out there available, both open source and paid, and a lot of them have this characteristic in that they're not all of the notes of the scale. They're generally to be used with virtual synthesizers and that sort of thing that will take care of this for you in the virtual synthesizer. But for my tool and for ABC.js tools, you need to have individual samples for every note. So this utility will take care of creating all those notes for you. It's extremely simple to use. You can just point it at a directory of the samples. Again, there can be gaps in the scale, and it will take care of creating all the missing notes for you. So I'm very interested to see what kinds of interesting custom instruments you all create from this. I will put some links to some open source sample libraries in the Facebook group, and I hope you really enjoy playing with this new capability of the ABC transcription tools.